Hi everyone, welcome back to the show floor here at E3 2013. I'm here with the internet's Mike Channel, who's just been looking at Watch Dogs from Ubisoft. So Mike, what did you actually get to see?
Well, I've got to say, like, if we were giving out E3 awards already, then this would get the award for rainiest rain in a video game. It looks absolutely stunning. The game in general is absolutely incredible. It's got a kind of autumnal vibe in Chicago. Everything's just kind of like slightly rusty and beautiful. Absolutely stunning. So I saw the PS4 demo that we saw at the PS4 conference, but I also saw another mission, which was a more sort of, basically, if you've ever seen the Far Cry 3 outpost things where you have to kind of take over the outpost and that opens the map up, basically Watch Dogs works exactly the same way, but the CTOS kind of control system that is kind of controlling all the surveillance in the city, that's what you gain access to. So you can do kind of like close range hacks and things if you don't have access to the outpost, but as soon as you manage to hack that sort of control center, then that area of that district or that neighborhood opens up for you. And it's what became really clear actually was how the kind of hacking works on an almost sort of line of sight thing. So cameras are going to be really, really important in this game, because if you can hack a camera that's pointing over a wall, you can then see into that compound and then maybe hack something else, and so you kind of almost like daisy chain these things to get inside. And for the outposts, a lot of the time you'll be kind of profiling the guards so you can see where they are, and then that allows you to then go in and use your either stealth or shooting to get to the device that needs to be hacked.
A game like this, hacking is going to be obviously a massive part of the game. What was the hacking mechanic actually like?
It seems like pretty straightforward. You know, the guy was rolling in the car, manages to hack a gate so it opens. It feels like there'll be kind of like a fast hack button that will do the default thing, and then you'll have more sort of elaborate skills on like on a rotation wheel. What's really interesting is the multiplayer stuff that they showed. So they teased that stuff last year when we saw the game. They showed it in a little more depth now, which is really cool, because basically when a player intrudes on your game world, you have no idea until they start interfering with you. So they'll be in the game world, the game won't notify you that someone's connected at all. And what you do is essentially, when you're an interloper, you kind of find the other player and then you kind of scan them, and once you've scanned them, then you can hit a button to start downloading data. As soon as you hit that button, they know where you are, and then it becomes this sort of hide-and-seek chase across the city, through cars, in speedboats, anything you like, and that's really, really cool. And eventually, it usually ends in like a gunfight in an alley or something. But it's got this really, really nice vibe where you're trying to download this chunk of data, which takes a certain amount of time while not being tagged by the other dude.
Yeah, so like hide and seek with guns.
Yeah, basically exactly that, which is really, really cool. There's also the smart glass stuff. So if you're in trouble in a mission, you can kind of ping out a request for help from mobile players. And I think the way it works is, I guess if someone's on your friend list and they've got the app installed, they might get a notification that you need some help, and they can come into your game and start like EMPing helicopters and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. So that's bonkers as well. Like even if they're not playing the game, they can be interfering in your world.
They're on a train somewhere, like in the north of England, and they can help you out in your game.
Exactly that. And there's so many like cool little things. I mean, like I said, visually it's stunning. There's a great moment you will have seen in the PS4 demo where the entire city gets blacked out for a second. As you know, he's standing there with his hands up and he's got his phone in his hand, presses the button, and the entire city blacks out, which is great. But the really cool moment was then all the lights started to ping back on, and you see these entire blocks of like tower blocks lighting up. And they showed a bit of the procedural stuff as well, which was really, really cool, because they've shown the kind of potential victim, potential sort of criminal system, but it's based around this kind of very Orwellian idea that the entire surveillance system is actually predicting crimes. As you know, it's basically profiling people all the time. So the percentage based on information that they know about people, and once you've unlocked that outpost, you then get access to that data, and those procedural missions appear. So you'll get the guy who's about to like perform domestic violence on his ex-girlfriend or whatever, and so you can kind of go and intervene as a vigilante. Now, the way you can do it is you can do that in a non-lethal sense. So you could chase a guy down and maybe hack some bollards to come up, and they'll smash the car. The guy won't die, but he'll be knocked out, and the police will come and pick it up, and that adds to kind of your positive reputation as a vigilante. If you kill him, if you gun him down in the streets like you're in Bogota or something, right, then it won't reflect well. And they haven't said specifically, but it feels like there's a lot of potential for kind of a branching narrative, like maybe like the Dishonored, a high chaos and a low chaos ending, based on how Aiden Pearce handles his sort of mission for revenge. What was quite cool was that actually it seems like the television news is going to be a real pain in the arse. You will have seen in the PS4 demo, there's that moment where he goes into the coffee shop and a news report comes on describing how Aiden Pearce is a threat, and the guy spots him and tries to ring the police. That seems to happen all the time, because in the second mission, you went in to buy some guns in the gun shop and suddenly the news pings on the TV and it's talking about you. So I think if you're causing trouble and making noise and things, then you're going to have to keep an eye out for the sort of police tracking you, and people will report it. The way the police thing works is kind of interesting as well, because it's almost a two-stage thing. You won't be just instantly in a car chase where the police know psychically where you are, but they will scan blocks of the city based on these Wi-Fi spots around the city, and if you're in that block, you'll have to maybe delay the hack or something, or find a way to get out of that area of scanning, otherwise they'll zero in on you, and then the police will be chasing after you, and get helicopters in and things like that.
That sounds great. And you were saying the traversal and the combat feels really good as well?
Yeah, so I mean, it's got parkour, but not in quite as flamboyant a style as sort of Assassin's Creed. I don't think you'll be climbing up skyscrapers and things like that, but there's some really neat moments. When the guy was chasing down the domestic violence perpetrator, the guy hopped over a fence. There was just a little tree next to it, and Pierce kind of pops a foot on it just to get over it. It's very natural, very fluid. They've clearly learned a lot from the animation in Assassin's Creed, but it feels very grounded, very kind of modern paranoia. And I wasn't even playing it, but the sense of empowerment with having control over all these like little sort of Wi-Fi hotspots and cameras and things, just it looks awesome, and just the effect you can have on the city. There's one like tiny throwaway thing where you can kind of hack through Wi-Fi into someone's apartment, and there's just a woman off screen with a baby like crying and things, but you can kind of hack into her laptop webcam, and then if you can get to her phone, you can steal a load of money and go and pick it up at the ATM. So again, it's about like where your moral compass stands with this power that you've been given, which is, I think, a brilliant theme for a game.
So that's Watch Dogs down here on the show floor at E3 2013. Check back on Outside Xbox for more.